Hello, my dear students. I hope you all are fit and fine. As you know, we have covered two chapters from English course book. One is Wonder and second one is Poem of the One Word. Today we are going to start a new chapter, chapter number 3, One Child, One Teacher, One Book, One Pen. Do you know who wrote this line? Yes, this line is written by Malala Yousafzai. This chapter is an autobiography of Malala Yousafzai, co-written with Christina Lamb. This chapter is written by Malala Yousafzai, co-written with Christina Lamb. Firstly, I am going to share blog commentary with you. As you know or you have learned that blog commentary means what you are going to learn in this chapter. Let's start blog commentary. In this lesson, students will read and study with the autobiography of Malala Yousafzai, One Child, One Teacher, One Book, One Pen. This lesson will help students learn to identify key events that takes place in the life of a person and how these events affect a person. They will also learn how an autobiography tells us about important contribution made by a person. Finally, they will write a summary on the important contribution made by the person. I hope you understood what we are going to learn in this chapter. Before going to start today's lesson, I am giving you a few instructions. Listen them carefully. Watch the video carefully. Keep a pen and notebook with you. Write the new words and important points in your notebook. Yes. Do you know whose picture is this? Whose picture is this? Yes, this is the picture of Malala Yousafzai. Today we will read about her. Now I am going to ask some question. Pause the video here and write the answer of these questions in your notebook. What do you think we will read about today? Yes, my first question is, what do you think we will read about today? Do you think this story is fiction or non-fiction? Why do you say so? Third question is, do you know anything about this girl? Write the answer of this question in your notebook. Let's discuss answers. Today we will read the story of a real girl named Malala Yousafzai. This story is non-fiction as it is about a real person's life. And my third question was, do you know anything about this girl? If you know, write your answer. So I have written here, answer may vary. You can think and write your answer. So today you will be able to identify the key events in an autobiography. This will be the learning outcome or aim of our today's class. What will be the aim of our class? Today you will be able to identify the key events in an autobiography. To achieve this aim, we will follow an agenda. Firstly, as I have asked you from some question, then in the activity part we will do the reading. After reading we will do discussion, then application part, then I will give you homework. Now I am going to start reading from the text. One child, one teacher, one book, one pen. This is the title of our today's lesson. This is an extract from Nobel Prize winner Malala Yousafzai autobiography I Am Malala, co-written with Christina Lamb. This chapter has been written by Malala Yousafzai and she has written this chapter with Christina Lamb, and Malala Yousafzai is a Nobel Prize winner. Malala talks about how she misses her home and life in Pakistan. She also talks about how much life has changed for her and her family since they left their country. In this chapter, we will learn how Malala is missing her life when she has left her country. Our house feels big and empty. It sits behind an electric iron gate, and it sometimes seems as we are in what we in Pakistan call a sub jail, a kind of luxury house arrest. At the back, there is a large garden with lots of trees and a green lawn for me and my brothers to play cricket on. But there are no rooftops to play on, no children fighting with kites in the streets, no neighbors coming in to borrow a plate of rice or for us to ask for 3 tomatoes. We are just a vast distance from the next house, but it feels miles away. Yes, listen carefully, my dear student. In this passage, Malala talks about her house in Swat. She says that their house is big but empty. She feels her family is under a kind of luxury house arrest. Even though they are living in a big house equipped with modern facilities, they feel restricted to compound. There are not as many friends and neighbors visiting and spend time with them. They are feeling lonely here. If I look out, I see my mother wandering around the garden, her head covered by a shawl, feeding the birds. She looks as if she is singing maybe that tapa she likes. Don't kill doves in the garden. You kill one and the others wouldn't come. She is giving the birds the remains of our dinner from the night before, and there are tears in her eyes. We eat much the same here as we did back home, rice and meat for lunch and dinner, while breakfast is fried eggs, chapatis, and sometimes also honey. A tradition started by my little brother Atal, though his favorite Birmingham discovery his Nutella sandwiches. But there are always leftovers. My mother is sad about the waste of food. I know she is remembering all the children we fed in our house so they would not go to school on empty stomachs and wondering how they are faring now. In this passage, Malala is talking about her mother. Her mother wanders in the garden, her head always covers with shawl. She gives food to the birds, but she remembers those days when she gives food to those children who go to school on empty stomach. When I came home from school in Mingora, I never found my house without people in it. I can't believe that I used to plead for a day of peace and some privacy to do my schoolwork. Here, the only sound is of the birds and Kushal's Xbox. I sit alone in my room doing a jigsaw puzzle and long for guests. Yes, here Malala talks about those days that most of people and friends visit to her house. There is no peace or privacy to do her schoolwork, but now here is the only sound of birds and Kushal's game Xbox. Now she sits alone in her room playing with a puzzle. It means Malala is missing those days. We didn't have much money, and my parents knew what it was like to be hungry. My mother never turned anyone away. Once a poor woman came, hot, hungry, and thirsty, to our door. My mother let her in and gave her food, and the woman was so happy. I touched every door in the mahalla, and this was the only one open. She said, "May God always keep your door open wherever you are." In this passage, Malala says that earlier we didn't have enough money and my parents knew what is hunger. My mother always helped the hungry person. Once a poor and hungry woman came to her house and my mother gave her food and the woman gave blessings to my mother. I know my mother is lonely. She was very sociable. All the women of the neighborhoods used to gather in the afternoons on our back porch, and women who worked in other houses came to rest. Now she is always on the phone to everyone back home. It's hard for her here as she doesn't speak any English. Our house has all these facilities, but when she arrived, they were all mysteries to her, and someone had to show us how to use the oven, washing machine, and TV. In this passage, Malala says that in this house, her mother feels lonely because in the previous house, women came to her house and sit with her. Now she is always busy on the phone. The modern appliances and facilities in their house in the UK's were mysteries. They were mysteries to Malala's mother and her family as they had never used such things. They needed help with using the oven, washing machine, and TV. As usual, my father doesn't help in the kitchen. I tease him, "Abba, you talk of women's rights, but my mother manages everything. You don't even clear the tea things." Here Malala talks about her father. She says, "My father doesn't help my mother in the kitchen. She gets angry with her father. There are buses and trains, but we are unsure about using them. My mother misses going shopping in China Bazaar. She is happier since my cousin Shah came to stay." He has a car and takes her shopping, but it's not the same as she can't talk to her friends and neighbors about what she bought. In this paragraph, my mother misses about shopping days. Malala says even her mother is happy that her cousin Shah goes on shopping with her mother, but she is not happy as she cannot show these things to her friends. A door bangs in the house and my mother jumps. She jumps these days at the slightest noise. She often cries, then hugs me. Malala is alive, she says. Now she treats me as if I was her youngest rather than eldest child. In this passage, when Malala's mother hears some noise on the door, then she cries. She hugs and loves Malala as she is the youngest child. I know my father cries too. He cries when I push my hair to the side and he sees the scar on my head. And he cries when he wakes from an afternoon nap to hear his children's voices in the garden and realizes with relief that one of them is still mine. He knows people say it's his fault that I was short, that he pushed me to speak up like a tennis dad trying to create a champion, as if I don't have my own mind. It's hard for him. All he all he worked for over almost 20 years has been left behind. The school he built up from nothing, which now has 3 buildings with 1100 pupils and 70 teachers. I know he felt proud of what he had created, a poor boy from that narrow village between the black and white mountains. In this passage, Malala says, when my father also sees me, he becomes happy and also worries about to see the scar on my head because people believe that this is her father who his child to fight for education. At that time, the building he has made now 3 buildings with 1100 people and 70 teachers. This is the first part of reading. Now we will discuss some questions. What are the key events you found in the story so far? What are the key events you found in the story so far? What have you learned about Malala so far? Pause the video here and you have to write the key events from the story. One of the key events is Malala and her family is missing the life in Pakistan. She talks about how much life has changed for her and her family since they left their country. In this way, you have to find the key events from the story. Second answer is, we have learned that Malala is a brave girl with strong opinions and wants every girl in the Swat Valley to study. Now I am going to discuss generalized discussion. How did we find events in the autobiography? How did we find events in the autobiography? How do we know which events are important than others? Again, pause the video here and write the answers of these questions. We found the key events in the autobiography by carefully reading it. We know that an event is important if it has a big impact on the person's life or on other people's life. Now here is another high order thinking skill question. Can you think of some events from your life? Can you think of some events from your life? Why do you think they are important? You have to write the answers of this question in the notebook. Now, here are the keywords. What new words we have learned in this chapter? Autobiography, key events and discussion. These are the 3 keywords or main words. Now I am going to discuss glossary. Tappa, a type of semi-classical vocal music. Mahalla, an area in a village or town. Abba, a term for father. A tennis dad trying to create a champion means our parents pushing his or her child to excel. Now, on the basis of reading, I am giving you the multiple choice question. You have to do this. Tick the most appropriate option. Malala says we are just a wall's distance from the next house, but it feels miles away because first option is her house is big but empty and it is enclosed by an iron gate. Second, a garden the size of a cricket field separates it from the next house. Third option is she and her family are not used to their neighborhood. And fourth option is they do not see their neighbors or meet them as they did in Swat. You have to read the chapter again and solve this worksheet. Malala sits alone in her room doing a jigsaw puzzle because first option is now she finally has a room of her own. She enjoys peace and privacy in her home. There are no guests or visiting friends to spend time with. She wants to listen to the bird and her brother's Xbox. Third question is Malala teases her father about attending conferences and collecting awards, not helping her mother though he talks about women's rights, being upset about the scar on her head every time he sees it, not taking her mother out shopping. Fourth question is some of the things from Swat seem like stories from a distant place to Malala's family because first option is they do not want to remember their tragic past in Swat. They now live in the UK, far away from their home in Pakistan. They struggle to remember their previous life during meal times. So much has happened to them since they left Swat. You have to solve this worksheet. Now it's time for homework. First question is what is a house arrest? What is a house arrest? Why does Malala say they left? They were under a kind of luxury house arrest in the UK, as we have discussed in the first passage. You have to read the first passage carefully and write the answer of this question. When she arrived, they were all mysteries to her. What are they? To whom were they mysteries? Why were they mysterious? Third question is it's hard for him. What is hard for whom and why? Read the chapter again and try to solve this question. I hope you have understood this chapter. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.